Hi guys, Chris here, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about the TBRs for the 3 readathons I plan to participate in the month of December. First up, I'm taking part in 'Tis the Season-a-thon. This readathon runs from November 30th through December 6th. It is being hosted by Heather and Amy, and I will link their information in the description below. There are 5 prompts with a bonus prompt. The bonus prompt is a group read, and it is In a Holidaze by Christina Lauren. I won't be reading that one as I requested it from my library and I am still in line to get it, so I can't read that one, but I will hopefully be able to read a book for each of the other prompts. The first prompt is to read a holiday-themed book. For this, I plan to read A Boy Called Christmas by Matt Haig. I don't know too much about this, but I'm guessing that it involves the holidays. It talks about 11-year-old Nicholas, nicknamed Christmas. And when his father goes missing, he must travel to the North Pole to save him. So I'm assuming it is going to revolve around Santa Claus and the Christmas holidays. So I think this will definitely count for a holiday-themed book. The next prompt is to read a book you meant to get to this year, but didn't. For this, I will be reading Shiloh by Phyllis Reynolds Naylor. If you don't know what this book is about, this is about a boy named Marty who comes across a dog he feels is being mistreated, and he has to figure out what he wants to do about that situation and how best to help the dog. This is a book that I loved as a kid, and it's been a very long time since I've read it. When I was looking to get some of my childhood favorites last year, I found out that there is actually a 4th book in this series that is a Shiloh Christmas, and I knew that I wanted to read that for this Christmas once I got my hands on it, but I also knew it had been so long since I read the Shiloh series that I was going to have to reread the first 3 books in the series before I could attempt the 4th. So I had planned to read all of them earlier in the year, and I didn't get to them. So since I still am hoping to read Shiloh Christmas this Christmas season, I figured this is the perfect book for this prompt. The next prompt is to read a diverse book, and for this I'm going to be reading Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I had planned to read this for Tone Topple, but the audio on Scribd was not working for me, so I requested it from my library. I did not get it in time to read it for Tome Topple, but I did still really want to read it, so I figured this was the perfect time to do it. This is written by an Indigenous author, and I believe it is about Indigenous people. I believe it's also a fantasy, so there must be a magical element involved. I don't know too much more about that. Let's see. It says, Book 1 of the Between Earth and Sky trilogy, inspired by the civilizations of the pre-Columbian Americans, and woven into a tale of celestial prophecies, political intrigue, and a forbidden magic. A god will return when the earth and sky converge under the black sun. So yeah, it sounds like it's going to be quite the interesting book, and I know a few other people read it for Tome Topple, and they all seem to really like it, so I'm quite looking forward to getting into this one. Next is to read a book with lights on the cover, and for this I will be reading The Christmas Saurus by Tom Fletcher. As you can see, there is some lights here on what I'm assuming is a Christmas dinosaur. It says, there's only one thing William Trundle has ever wanted for Christmas, a dinosaur. But never in his wildest dreams did he think that Santa would actually deliver. And honestly, neither did Santa. Grab a plate of cookies and some hot cocoa and prepare to meet a boy who believes in the magic of the season, the meanest girl in school, possibly the world, Santa Claus, yes, the real Santa, a horrible villain called the Hunter, and a most unusual dinosaur. So this sounds like it's going to be quite interesting, and I am very curious to see what Santa thinks of bringing this kid a dinosaur for Christmas. And the last prompt is to read a cozy read. I feel like this prompt is open to interpretation because it really depends on what you as a reader finds to be a cozy read. And for me, there's nothing cozier than a reread, so I will be rereading Dawn by Erin Hunter. This is the 3rd book in the 2nd arc of 6 in the Warrior series. If you're new to my channel and don't know what Warriors is about, they're about forest cats that live in clans and have to work together to take care of their clanmates, but they don't always get along with the other clans, and that leads to issues. I really like these books, and I've been doing a reread this year, so I've got another one that I can check off my list with this readathon. The next readathon I plan to participate in is the Create Your Own Holiday Adventure Readathon. This readathon runs from December 1st through December 25th. This readathon is being hosted by Bree, Tia, Chloe, and Sarah, and I will leave all of their information linked in the description below. There are 4 paths you can take on this Create Your Own Adventure readathon, and I will be doing the Kid at Heart path. Each of the prompts is based on a Christmas song. First up is Frosty the Snowman, and for this you have to read a book with snow on the cover. For this, I am again going to be reading The Christmasaurus by Tom Fletcher. There's snow on the cover, so it'll pull double duty, and I love being able to double up on books when I'm doing multiple different readathons. Next is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and this is to read a book with a red cover. For this, I will be reading The Girl Who Saved Christmas by Matt Haig. This is the second book in the, I think it's called the Christmas series. This is a sequel to A Boy Called Christmas, which, as you saw, I will be reading for the 'Tis the Season-a-thon. So I figured since the second book has a red cover, I should definitely give this a go for that. I am not planning on finding out what it's about because I don't know how closely it's related to A Boy Called Christmas, and I don't want to spoil A Boy Called Christmas for myself, so I'm going to kind of go into this one a bit blind, though I will probably read the description before I read it. But as of right now, I don't know what it's about, other than I'm assuming we're going to be reading about this girl and somehow she's going to save Christmas. Next is Jingle Bells, and that is to read a travel or road trip book. For this, I'm going to be reading Dawn by Erin Hunter. I know that in this book, the cats go on a great journey, so they will be traveling, and I feel like this fulfills the prompt of a travel book, since the majority of this book is about the trip these characters take. And lastly is Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Read a book with a naughty or nice hero, your choice. For this, I'm going to read Unlocked by Shannon Messenger. This is book 8.5 in the Keepers of the Lost City series. I think that Sophie, our main protagonist, is a pretty nice hero, and I have been looking forward to reading this book since it was announced, and of course, the moment I put down book 8, all I wanted to do was pick up the next book in the series, so I'm really looking forward to this, and despite it being very chunky, I fly through these books, so I have no doubt that I will get through this book between now and Christmas. The last readathon I will be taking part in is the mini Polarthon weekend. This runs from December 4th through December 6th and is hosted by Jade from JD Ray Reads. I will leave her info linked in the description below. There is a full Polarthon readathon, I believe, in February, which has tons of prompts. This is just a mini weekend, and the only things required for participating in this readathon are to read polar fantasies. From what I gather, a polar fantasy is any fantasy book set in a wintry setting. And the only other thing that Jade would like you to do is to give yourself a little bit of TLC. As long as you read one polar fantasy and you give yourself some TLC, you have participated in this readathon. Over that weekend, I hope to get to 4 books. 3 of these books you've already heard me talk about. The first is A Boy Called Christmas. The second is The Girl Who Saved Christmas. And the third is The Christmasaurus. I figure since I have to read these 3 for other readathons, I might as well throw them in over Polar Weekend and see if I can't get through them, as I'm, again, feeling like I know these 2 are set over the winter and they seem to be fantasy, and I'm going to assume that that one is as well. And the other book I hope to get to is Father Christmas and Me by Matt Haig. This is the 3rd book in, again, what I think is the Christmas series, and I don't know anything about it, again, because I don't want to spoil the first 2 books, but I'm assuming it is going to be set around the Christmas season with Father Christmas, and that it will count as a polar fantasy. And I'm really looking forward to checking this full series out and seeing what I think of it, because it seems like it could be a really interesting series, and I was really looking forward to reading some Christmas books this holiday season. So these are the books I'm hoping to get to in my readathons that I'm taking part in December. Are you guys taking part in any of these readathons? If so, which ones, and what are you reading for them? Or are there other readathons that you found out about for December that you plan on taking part in? Let me know about them in the comments below. If you've made it this far in the video, leave me a Christmas tree emoji in the comment section below. Like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!